Welcome to another fantastic episode of Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed. My name is John, and you are now in my world-famous sipping den, where all the magic happens down here. This is where I do all my reviews of anything that has anything to do with alcohol and my famous Sunday morning coffee review. How are you going to find all that stuff? Well, I have the most extensive yet easily navigatable playlist on YouTube. I have it broken down into categories and subcategories. Matter of fact, it's so wondrous. It's so great. I can't even describe my own playlist. You're going to have to go check it out. You're going to be amazed. You're going to be shocked, awed, and immediately you're going to sub. And I appreciate it because that keeps me highly motivated and truly dedicated, right? It helps me help you. All right, today. Oh, and the first comment of every video is always pinned because it has a link to the very playlist that pertains to what I'm reviewing. And today I'm reviewing a bourbon. No, not just any bourbon. Old EZRA, 7 years. Right? Old EZRA, 7. Aged 7 years. It's got a cool label, I think. It's a nice looking label, in my opinion. Beautiful. Look at the color of it. Beautiful copper. 7 years old. Lux Row. This is a straight bourbon whiskey. It is aged 7 years. It was released in October of 2018. So when they first put out the first 7 year. 117 proof. It's a beautiful thing. It is 78% corn, 12% malted barley, and 10% rye. So there we go. Let's get it into a glass and taste this sucker. All right. Like I said, beautiful copper, dark copper color. .78% corn is going to be a sweetness to this. And 7 years, that wood character is going to come out, right? It takes about 2 years. 7 years, it's coming out nice. And what's the usual suspects? Of course, you got the caramel, you got the vanilla, you've got the slight wood smell to it. You got the sweetness. And in this case, because of some of that brown sugar, sometimes it's honey, sometimes... Yeah, it's a beautiful honey. So the barrel influence has now taken this to another level. Right, with that vanilla, with that soft wood smell, with the caramel, with the honey. Very nice. Now we're going to take an acclimation sip or two. I'm going to cleanse my palate from some coffee I had earlier. And then I'm going to take another one, right? Get the burn out. And then we'll start going in for the taste. When you do an acclimation sip, you want to hold it swishing around for at least 10 seconds before you swallow the whiskey. You want the tongue to burn a little bit. As long as you're getting burned, you're not getting taste. You can sip it for a long time, but we can speed it up by holding it a good 10 seconds, numbing those pain receptors, opening up the taste buds. Actually, that burned very little for the 117. You notice when I swallow, I always breathe out because that will keep you from coughing. If you breathe in all those vapors, you're going to cough. You'll look like a rookie. Okay. All right. Now, I'm acclimated. Lux Row, which I was just out there doing a barrel pick of EZRA Brooks and Rebel. Matter of fact, I got the barrel back. It's cool. And we'll get into that in a home. I'll do how they do a whole barrel pick on another video. But they just built some new fermentation tanks and everything else out there. As you're looking at it to the right, there's a whole new section. They're making their own stuff now. And a lot of it they're putting out. This was sourced. Probably from Heaven Hill, undisclosed. But they are making their own, and during my barrel pick, which I picked several barrels, 80% of them were their juice. I didn't know that till after they're done. Then they said, hey, 80% of these is ours, right? The other 20% was sourced. So That being said, now let's go in. It's beautiful. It's very smooth. And when I mean smooth, it's not burning, okay? For 117 proof, straight down the hatch. Nice mouthfeel, oily. And there's a lot of vanilla. There's just a kiss of wood with none of the harshness that might go with wood, none of the tannin, just the vanillas, cinnamon, a mingling of a slight wood, cedary, just blended in perfect. This is nice. This is real good. I got this in the low 80s price. I think it's getting ready to go up. They told me at the distillery this is getting ready to go up in price. It sells out quick. I think it's going to go up 90 to 100. All right, I got it low 80s, so I feel good about that purchase. Not really getting any fruit. I'm getting honey. I'm getting a slight wood. None of the tannin or bitter aftertaste. No nuttiness, anything like that. Sweet honey, brown sugar, however you want to describe it. Vanilla, cinnamon. And if you're going to get any fruit out of it, I could see where someone might say more of a dried fruit. Lightly sugared dried fruit. And none in particular. Alright, well, I think we'll put a little water in it, although at 117, amazingly, doesn't need it. Alright, put a little water. And to me, a lot of times water will bring out the sweetness. We'll see. It's already sweet, but smell a little more of the grain now. A little more of the mash bill, right? A little more of the cereal. Wasn't getting it so much before. Now a little bit more. Not getting as much up front immediately now as I was with the water. On the aftertaste, I'm getting the same things I was getting before. It just is lighter, if it makes sense. It's not as intense, obviously. Wow. It's really an easy drinking whiskey for this. You know, it just goes down, it doesn't burn, there's not much of a Kentucky hug to it. It's just got some 7 flavors that are standing out, but they're all mingled into one good flavor. There's no bitterness on this. This is an outstanding whiskey, in my opinion. I'm really enjoying it. The water just softens it. It doesn't bring out any new flavors to me. Maybe a little more of the grains, but not much. More on the smell. That wood barrel really has influenced this after 7 years. I don't know where it was in the warehouse, but that's some dark whiskey right there. So, I really like it. It's enjoyable. I'm going to enjoy this bottle. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to sub. Check out my playlists. Check out this bourbon playlist. It's right up, pinned to the first comment. I'll see you on the next one.